Ontario has now officially confirmed a new minimum wage for 2026, with the general rate rising to $17.95 per hour on October 1st, 2026. This increase raises the current general minimum wage of $17.60 by 35 cents, which works out to a 1.9% adjustment. The change is tied to Ontario's inflation-linked formula under the Employment Standards Act. Under this system, the province updates minimum wage rates every year and publishes the new rates by April 1st, while the changes take effect on October 1st. The increase will affect many workers across Ontario in provincially regulated jobs, including people working in restaurants, retail, hospitality, offices, schools, factories, and many other workplaces. However, workers in federally regulated sectors such as banking, airlines, telecommunications, railways, and Canada Post follow the federal minimum wage instead. That federal rate is set to rise to $18.15 per hour on April 1st, 2026. For a full-time worker putting in 40 hours a week, the new Ontario rate means weekly earnings of $718. Over a full year of work, that adds up to $37,336 before deductions. Compared with the current minimum wage, that is an increase of $728 a year before tax, Canada Pension Plan contributions, and employment insurance deductions. Ontario is also increasing several special wage categories. The student minimum wage will rise from $16.60 to $16.90 per hour. This applies only when the worker is under 18, works no more than 28 hours a week during the school year, and is enrolled as a student. If any of those conditions are not met, the worker must receive the full general minimum wage. The homeworker minimum wage will increase from $19.35 to $19.70 per hour. This category applies to workers who perform paid work from their homes in arrangements that are specifically home-based by nature, rather than regular office staff who simply work remotely. Wilderness guides will also see increases in their daily minimum wage rates, with lower daily rates for shifts under 5 consecutive hours and higher rates for longer workdays. Even with the increase, the new minimum wage still remains below living wage levels in several parts of the province. In the Greater Toronto Area, for example, the living wage is much higher, leaving a significant gap between what minimum wage workers earn and what is considered necessary to cover housing, food, transportation, childcare, and other essentials. This also reminds workers to check their pay after October 1st to make sure the new rates are being applied correctly. It points to common issues such as unpaid training, improper deductions, off-the-clock work, and worker misclassification. Workers who believe they are not being paid properly can contact the Ontario Ministry of Labour. Overall, the new minimum wage is official, confirmed, and part of Ontario's automatic wage adjustment system. While the increase gives workers a modest boost, it still does not fully close the affordability gap in many communities across the province.